Good morning. Today I want to talk about 5 things that you need in your fall wardrobe. As you can see, I have a really bright setup today. That's because I'm visiting my boyfriend back at home and his apartment is lit to the heavens. So I thought it would be perfect to sit down and make a video. It's getting chillier, especially in New York, and I've been seeing brands sell their fall collections as well. So I felt like it would be appropriate to talk about the 5 essential items that I think everyone needs in their fall wardrobe. I think fall can be a little bit overwhelming, but I really think that you don't need that much for fall. There's really just a few core pieces that I think you need, and you can create multiple different outfits around them. You can mix and match them and easily just throw something on with these 5 items and just head out the door. That's what I like about fall. I feel like you can play around with layers, silhouettes, and even if you don't like your base outfit, you can always just throw on a nice coat or a jacket over it and head out the door. The first of the only 5 things you need for fall is a leather jacket. A leather jacket is just a classic cool girl item to have in your wardrobe, and it can last you for years and years and years, especially if you get like a genuine leather jacket, because it can slowly become more comfortable and well fitted to your body. Here are some search terms that I like to use when I look for leather jackets online. Asymmetrical leather jackets are really fun because they're something that's a little bit out of the norm. I think most leather jackets are quite symmetrical and fitted, but with asymmetrical silhouettes, you can find something that looks a little bit more nicer and interesting and unique. Ruched and ruffle are kind of similar, but they involve more of like an interesting design, texture, and shape. I think that these details add a little bit of femininity to the coolness of a leather jacket, which is a really interesting contrast that I like to play around with. One of my favorite leather jackets actually has like a ruffle shoulder detail on either side, and I think it just looks feminine and cool and chic all at the same time. Victorian and military are also some really interesting terms. You can find some really symmetrical, uniform looking leather jackets that I think are very interesting. I think these terms are great if you're looking for something that looks a little bit more vintage and unique, because not a lot of people are going to be wearing a Victorian or military style leather jacket. Vintage, of course, applies to all of the items I'm going to talk about today because it's great to invest in vintage and be a part of sustainability, especially when you're trying to obtain new pieces for new seasons. I feel that vintage leather jackets just feel a lot more comfortable because they're already worn in. Lastly, I had to include avant-garde because this is a little bit out of the norm, but that's basically what avant-garde is. It's something that is very exciting, maybe even costumey, unexpected, but definitely going to be very interesting and a unique, one of a kind piece to have in your closet. The second item you need for fall is a trench coat. I think trench coats are the epitome of classiness and effortless style. I love how easy they are to just throw on because they can be really lightweight or just fully pull together an outfit and basically wrap it like a bow. These are some terms I came up with for searching for trench coats online. I think asymmetrical is a really interesting one. I myself have been looking for an asymmetrical trench coat for quite some time. I've seen a couple of really stylish people wear them, and I think they look amazing. I think if I want to acquire one for myself, I'll probably have to spend a little bit more to acquire one, but I think they look really, really insane and super unique. They just look so, so insanely good and just scream, I have amazing sense of style. Korean is an interesting term because I feel like Koreans have classic, well designed trench coats. I noticed that a lot of the coats there have like a really nice structure, they have really nice symmetry, they include interesting details. A lot of times they'll have belts on the sleeves or interesting little fold over details along the collar. I also think they have a lot of nice colors, like they don't just do monochrome or neutral colors, they also like to do a lot of pastels and light colors, which could be fun. Frock and princess are a little bit more feminine kinds of silhouettes for trench coats. I think they're really interesting. I have to do some research on my own to see what I could find for these types of coats. Maybe I'll get one. I actually do have a few trench coats, but I feel like I need to upgrade the ones that I have to ones that I like a little bit more that suit the style that I have now. Cape is an interesting one because I feel like it's super drama but also very European chic. I actually do have one cape style trench coat, but it doesn't fit me very well because it's actually a kid's coat. Lastly, we have double-breasted. I personally prefer double-breasted simply because I really like the symmetry of buttons going down on either side compared to just one side on the coat. I feel like it's more of a traditional look to have double symmetrical buttons on either side of the coat. It looks a little bit more structured and put together. The next item you need in your fall wardrobe is a turtleneck. I will always stand by a turtleneck. I will literally even wear one in the spring and summer. That's how much I love turtlenecks. I think they look extremely classy, elegant, and they're one of the most timeless types of pieces you can own in your wardrobe. I love a long sleeve turtleneck. I love a short sleeve turtleneck. I love sleeveless turtleneck. Slouchy and draped, I feel like, are just interesting terms that most people wouldn't think of when they think of a turtleneck, but you could find some interesting vintage designer that way. Sleeveless is great for more so for spring and summer, but you can always layer for fall and winter too, like over a long sleeve shirt. The different lengths of sleeves I feel exude kind of a slightly different feeling. Sleeveless turtlenecks feel a little bit sexy and stylish. Short sleeve ones can feel a little bit more preppy and polished, and long sleeve ones are just timeless and elegant. Lastly, I wanted to include pleated because I just randomly thought about it when I was looking at turtlenecks, and I saw a few that look really interesting. I really love the whole Pleats Please collection by Issey Miyake. I think everybody's kind of obsessed with that collection right now. I also have yet to acquire something from that collection, but it just looks extremely artsy and interesting and very comfortable. The fourth out of five items that you need for fall are boots. I'm obsessed with boots. I'm currently on the hunt to find boots that I really like and maybe have more longevity. These are some search terms that I came up with while looking for boots. The first term is slouchy. I think slouchy boots just look very cool. They can look a little bit Y2K, but also very relaxed and effortless. Fold over and pant leg boots, I think, are one of the most stylish boots you can get. I don't really like a fold over pointed boot unless it isn't like a wedge, for example. Like, I'm very picky about it actually. But I used to be really obsessed with these for a while. There was a pair of Jacquemus fold over pant leg boots that I wanted for ages. Never acquired them, but they're gorgeous. Slim calf is something I learned about not too long ago. It's great for people who have slim legs and want like a really fitted boot. This kind of fit looks really sleek and just very sexy, I would say. Victorian lace up are terms I just got into because I was really trying to find different types of boots. I don't usually like these kinds of styles, but I'm trying to expand my horizons lately and try things that are a little bit out of my comfort zone with fashion, and I think they're actually quite interesting depending on who the designer is and what the silhouette looks like overall. Lastly, we have pointed toe and square toe. Square toe is just a classic, I think. I've always loved a square toe boot. I think they look really retro and 90s minimalism vibes. And pointed toe is just very chic and sexy and sleek, and it looks great with a really long floor touching pant. The last item you need in your fall wardrobe is a hobo bag. I think hobo bags are one of the greatest silhouettes you can have in a bag. They look very effortless and just really nice on the shoulder, and what I really like about them is that they're typically more of like a medium to large size bag, I'm more of like a medium large size bag girly because I have to carry a lot of things when I go out and about. Cameras, tripods, just my whole life. I love hobo bags because while they are like a bigger bag usually, they have the look of a really relaxed, effortless silhouette. So it almost looks like you're actually not carrying as much as you are. So these are some search terms that I came up with. Slouchy is a really essential one, I feel like, because if you wanted to, you could get a structured hobo bag as well, which I think those also look great. But I personally prefer a slouchy bag because I feel like it just feels more relaxed on the shoulder and it doesn't put too much strain on it. And then it also just doesn't look like you're carrying too much. I had to include Coach just because that's one of my favorite bag brands and it has been for a very long time. I feel like they just have so many different types of silhouettes and a lot of people resell them for really affordable prices. The quality of their bags are really good, so that's definitely a good brand to look out for when you're looking for a hobo bag. Ruffle and Gathered are pretty similar, but just are more interesting details to look for when you're looking for a hobo bag. I've seen some especially cute bags that are ruffled or gathered at the handles, and I think I want to acquire one very soon. I actually do have a bag that's kind of ruffly, but it's not like a real leather, and I think I would prefer to get a real leather bag. The last term I never would have thought of on my own, but I was looking at hobo bags, and this is something that came up, which is a scarf style hobo bag. These are really interesting because they look kind of like the scarves that you just tie around your neck, but as a bag, I think it's very interesting. I love when in fashion designers create silhouettes based on other things and use them in different ways. I think that is all a part of what makes fashion so exciting and innovative, and that's why this term really caught my eye. Lastly, I have to just do an honorable mention to one of my favorite items for fall, which is slacks. You guys know I love slacks. I wear them year round, but I think they're especially perfect for fall because of how chic they are and they can keep you warm at the same time. They look great with literally everything that I've talked about. So those are the only 5 items you need for fall. And this is based on someone who is constantly trying to purge her wardrobe and only maintain the essentials of what I feel I need. So take it from me, if you have these 5 items in your wardrobe, it's gonna make your fall super effortless and super chic and stylish. I hope that was helpful. Let me know any thoughts you have down below and if you have any topics like this that you want me to discuss. And I'll see you again very soon.